2020 was going to be my year too. I was mentally prepared to take the world by storm and embrace all its goodness. Professional and personal goals were set, exotic travel plans were made. But let's face it, the most non-essential item this year has been our passports. But here we are. I'm back with another episode to give you all a gentle reminder that we all as human beings are survivors. I mean, we are living through a global pandemic, aren't we? And to help me with this gentle reminder, I have two very close friends of mine joining me today. She broke into the scene with her talent way back in 2001. Even after almost 2 whole decades of being an ace sports person, she continues to reinvent herself, don multiple hats, and pushes the boundaries of what it means to be a female celebrity today. Speaking of donning multiple hats, my second guest is an actor, anchor, presenter, columnist, among the various other things that he is good at. Please welcome sports stars, youth icons, and great examples of people paving their own path, Sania Mirza and Prakash Amritraj. All right, welcome to my show, Coming Back to Life with Lakshmi Manchu. Sania and Prakash, thank you so very much for being here today, because we are in some unprecedented times and the new normal looks very different to all of us. And I thought, what best way than to bring some amazing professionals who are inspiring individuals to all of us, to put you two in conversation together from 2 different parts of the world, to say that we are all in this together and we will see our way out of it. So that's the whole premise of the show. And thank you so much again and again from the bottom of my heart, because really you guys, I really do have some amazing friends to bring hope into this world. So I just want to start off with, with you, Sania. You broke into the scene with your talent way back in 2001. Even after almost a whole 2 decades being an ace sportsman, she continues to reinvent herself, don multiple hats, and pushes the boundaries of what it means to be a female celebrity today. And speaking of donning multiple hats, my second guest, my very dear friend, is an actor, an anchor, a presenter, and columnist, and a former sports star himself, and now producing movies, amongst many other things that we don't have time for. But please welcome to both of you my sports youth icons.
Thank you.
And great examples of paving your own path. Sania Mirza and Prakash Amritraj. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for having us.
I've come up with the first round, which is called the gibberish round. But it's all around sports. So I didn't go all over the place. I'm not asking you science, but it's all about sports. So let's see how good your gibberish is. Ready?
Okay. Not great.
I'm higher. Umpire.
Umpire.
Oh! I
We got it together.
Prakash got this. I think Prakash got this.
What?
That was a team effort. Well done, son.
Oh my
Well
God.
done, son.
There are more.
Just because mixed doubles.
So, all of Sania's trophies came flashing to her mind when she saw that.
Come on.
Jamie?
What?
Jamie.
Jaming.
I sound really intelligent when I'm trying to pronounce this.
Jaming. Jaming.
Gaming? Jaming.
All right,
jamming?
I'm going in my head.
What is it?
That was
Jamming.
Oh, jamming.
So we got jamming. Next one.
Round robin.
Round robin. That was a high degree of difficulty. Sania got it really quickly. Well done.
Sania, you're like freaking acing it, yo.
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreak.
Ah, you're right.
Had to jump in.
There you go.
At least
And
she's
the
speaking
last
our
one.
language with tennis. I like it.
Unforced error. Unforced errors.
I mean, Sania, the words didn't even come up and she got it. Well done.
All right, that was round one. And I don't know who won. It doesn't
I
matter.
got 3.
You did.
I think I'm
You
going to have
did.
to give it to Sania. I'm going to have to give it to
Yeah.
Sania too.
Sania, as
Thanks.
always, we girls rock. Especially right now, right? I've realized that no matter where we are in the world, it's the human connection that brings us all together. So my first segment is called Note Swap. One of my favorite things about both of you is that both of you know how to have fun and not to take life too seriously. I mean, I could never have a bad moment with Prakash. Like, just being with you, you just light up the room, the space, the vibe, like all of it. Like, either both of you are like that. Even though you've achieved so much in your lives, like, I mean, you guys are super duper superstars, right? But when you hang out with you, Sania, you and me are still cracking those jokes about silly, stupid things. And
Let's
Prakash
not
is
say
always-
what our jokes are on this.
No, we cannot.
You may not be able to actually show this show will not be seen in public if they get to know our jokes.
No, that cannot happen. I have an old clip I found of both of you together that I'd like to show it to you.
Really?
Chuma.
Oh my. Oh my.
This is
We're talking about fashion today.
oh, this is not so bad, Prakash. I thought you were gonna go way back.
Ah, yeah.
That sounds about right. That sounds like
So
me.
that's the year you won the Wimbledon, was it? Was it 2015?
I think so. It might have been 2015 or 2016. It has to be one of those years. By my outfit, I think it was 2015, if I'm not wrong.
Wow, you remember the outfit you wore.
I mean, I won Wimbledon in that. I think I should remember what I was wearing.
Another
May not
very
remember
powerful pic-
who exactly we beat along the way, but you remember exactly what you were wearing when
Yeah,
you were
what
having
you
those
wore.
wins.
Of course,
more
like people
important
ask me,
thing.
people ask me, do you put makeup when you play? And I'm like, no, just for TV matches. Like, like just a bit of mascara for TV matches.
But no, another powerful image of me, Sania. It's just stuck to me. You're yet to sign me a photograph where you're on the court carrying your Ishan. Like, so powerful for me. That picture looked, just
Yeah, you
like,
asked me to actually send it to you. I think I sent it to you too, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
Oh, did I not? Okay, I'll send it
No.
to you after this call. Oh, geez,
There you go.
coming slow. But I will send it to you.
Thank you.
But
So-
yeah, that was actually this year in February. Just the last tournament that I played. That was
Right.
when we qualified for the World Group playoffs for the first time in India to play in the World Group playoffs. So yeah, that was this year in February.
So I think a big thing that's common between you is that you guys were, note swapping right now. A common thing between both of you is that you've been in the limelight since you were really, really young. Sania, we've seen you as a teenager growing up in the public eye with your statement t-shirts that we can't forget. Prakash, you come from a legendary tennis family. I mean, literally, you were born with a tennis racket in your hand, right? And you were exposed to all this so young. And how were you able to handle this fame and still remain so grounded?
For me, I think growing up in the limelight was pretty tough. I think that it's a very difficult thing to do, is to constantly have eyes on you, because I kind of came into the limelight when I was like maybe 15 or 16 when I won Junior Wimbledon, and at that point you're really discovering who you are as a person. You don't know the person that you are. You've got pimples, you're a bit chubby, and there's so many comments about you that you read, and it's definitely not easy. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
People don't
like
care
public
about
pressure.
your play anymore, and then they're talking about
Yeah,
body
well,
shaming
that
you.
too, but I just think it's so tough, right? As a teenager, I mean, all my friends are worrying about how to bunk school, and I'm here like trying to answer questions about political issues that are going on. So, I mean, it's a very different life. when you grow up in the limelight. So for me, I think when I kind of burst onto the scene, the media also was bursting onto the scene, like social media was coming together and everything. So that kind of worked for and against me in many ways, which is fine, I think, but it made me grow up probably sooner than I would have liked as a 16-year-old at that point.
I think it was a little bit similar and a little bit different, I guess, for me at the same time. I mean, growing up, Lakshmi, as you mentioned, I had a racket in my crib, so I grew up around the game. I have baby pictures of Boris Becker, Jimmy Connors, all these guys carrying me. So in a way, I grew up around the limelight the whole time. But Sania, as you know, when you're trying to pave a way for yourself, it's not always easy when you have all that limelight on you.
Yeah.
And I think, the transition for me, and I'd love to hear, how it's worked for you, Sania, when you're so concerned with what everyone else is thinking, it can affect, the way you do things. It kind of
Absolutely. At least for Sania, she didn't have that pressure of coming from a legendary tennis family.
So, like, I think what you're saying is something that I can really relate to now that I have a son. And, before he was even born, like when I was pregnant, everybody was like, so what is your son or daughter going to play? Is he going to play tennis?
Oh my
Is he
God.
going to play cricket? And, obviously that's the pressure and I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I mean, I just want him to be, I just want her to be healthy, and I want them to just sort of, he can be a doctor for all I care. I mean, I don't care. Like, he can do whatever he wants, but it's just so like, it's so inbuilt that no matter what he does, like, I feel that sometimes that no matter what he does, unless he becomes number one in the world at what he's doing, or he becomes the captain of a cricket team of a country, he's going to be a failure. Like, it's going to be so tough, And I completely understand what Prakash is saying, because to fill into BJ's shoes, who was, one of the legends that we have, not just in India, but in the world, is so tough. And constantly to have that pressure around you and this comparison. I'm sure you had that, Prakash. I mean, I've known you for a long time. Like, it was always about like, there are so many examples that you can give when I think that you talk about like legends, kids who always face that, abnormal sort of pressure.
When I did my first film, they were like, she's as good as her dad in dialogue delivery. And I'm like, guys, give me a break. I came here, you compare my dad's 40 years career to my first film. But how is it fair, we are trying to, we have our first movie opportunity, but then we have to prove ourselves. Nobody's going to, just because I'm Mohan Babu's daughter, I'm not going to get another and another and another movie if I don't prove myself,
Lakshmi, it's interesting you bring that up. I have a question, because I know you spent a lot of time in LA as well, training and acting and doing a lot of work over here. When I took a step away from tennis and, sunk myself into acting and training in a completely different world, it was weird. I almost, found myself a little bit more. And then, when I came back to tennis, I ended up playing better tennis, but all of the decisions were a lot more sort of, tunnel vision based, as opposed to taking into what everyone else was saying. Was that a little bit similar for you when you came to LA and you were able to just sort of focus on the craft without, the sort of, everything around your father around you?
Absolutely. My dad had no clue I was on Desperate Housewives or Las Vegas, or he thought I was shooting documentary films. Like, I lied my way through living in LA, because if I told him the truth, he's going to be like, what? You're going to be an actor in Hollywood? No way. Like, for then the concept of me being away itself was difficult, and me doing English films. America definitely taught me to learn who I am. Like, what do I like? Do I like wearing skirts or pants? Like, even that much I didn't know. I was just too protected, always like 5 people around me. Every time I stepped out, I was never allowed to go to a friend's house. I went to one movie in the theater, Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar. Like, and so going to LA, nobody had asked me when I came home or what I did. All of a sudden, I felt responsible for my life. So that really did absolutely open me up to Prakash. Yeah. So both of you right now are, Sania, there is a biopic being made of you, and Prakash, you're making a biopic of your father. And, how is that coming about?
Well, with this pandemic, nobody is making anything right now. So.
That's true. Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah.
Sania's on point. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, we with my biopic, we're in the stages of basically finalizing. We have almost finalized the director, and so it was getting into the writing stages. So you know, so it was pretty close to getting, like, you know, a few months away probably, and then getting into casting and stuff like that. But
everything is a standstill right
everything
now.
right now is a standstill, so we don't really know. So hopefully we're gonna get over this and come out on the better
You know,
side.
both of you do so many things. Like, I don't really fit into this is what you do. You know, you guys, you have your own academy, and Prakash, I need a book to see all the things that you're doing right now. So how and when did you make or think of your public personas? Because as multi-dimensional as they are, and is there a drawback to that in any way or any kind?
I know for a fact, you know, Sania, you know, I always feel that kids are, they're the most important thing we have in this world. You know, so many of us adults, you know, some of us are so far gone the wrong way, but kids, they're the future of this whole planet, of our culture, of our society. So, you know, if you can spread the right messages to them at a young age, that's how you leave an impact long after you're gone. Because it's all about the stuff that lasts, you know, after we're gone from this earth. So for me, that's sort of the overarching impact. Everything I do kind of has to have a little bit of an impact into that one space.
Thank you for that, Prakash. Now, that got a little too serious, and I'm going to break that down into another quiz. And this is called a Quarantine Shine Quiz. Dun, dun, dun. So it's a rapid fire. All right, ready? And you got to be super fiery with your answers, okay? Okay, Sania, you go first. What does your average day look like today as to what it used to be before?
I'm not taking out clothes out of my suitcase for a change. I'm taking them out of the cupboard, which is for one. And I work out maybe 2.5 hours a day. I think I need that for my sanity. I do that. I have a trophy room, so I've converted that into a gym. So that's where I work out. Because I had a thing of not having a gym in the house because I was sick and tired of seeing a gym, because I already have a tennis court in my house and I didn't want to have a gym. And it goes in a lot of time spending with my son, which I think that this pandemic, this is the only thing that I have taken from this positively, is that I don't think I would have spent this much time with Izhan if this wasn't there, because I would be so consumed, you know, I'm not traveling. Sometimes I would leave him. I was in America just before lockdown. I was actually in LA, and I came back on 18th and the lockdown happened on 22nd.
Prakash, how is it treating you in LA? What are you up to? You're another one always on trains, planes, and automobiles. So how are you handling this?
And you know what? When I'm on those planes, trains, and automobiles, I'm usually begging to be at home.
Yeah.
But now I cannot wait to jump on a plane again. The days are, you know what? I wish they were more productive. I feel, you know, you used to go to do 15 things in one day. Now, if you drive to go do one thing, it's like, oh my God, I can't do anything for another 4 days now. You know,
wear a
this
mask.
Is the highlight of my day. This Zoom interview is like, oh my God, I have to do something today. I have to do an interview with Lakshmi
on and wear
this
a
morning.
shirt.
It's been, I've said it 5 times. I have an interview at 8:30. I have an interview at 8:30.
2 discoveries you've made about yourself in this time. One good and one not so good.
You want me to go? One is that I don't hate traveling. That's a discovery I have made, because I used to think I hate traveling. And what's the other? I think on a little bit serious note, I think the other discovery is that it doesn't take a lot for us to be happy. I think this pandemic has really taught us to sort of appreciate the small things around, to be around family, to eat home cooked food. We don't need to eat food from outside every single day, and we don't need to, Swiggy things. Like, it's okay, and to just kind of enjoy the fact that you're around your parents and, and you're healthy. I think that's a realization, honestly, I've really had. I feel like I didn't put that much thought into it before. I felt like, oh my God, we're okay not shopping. Like, it's okay not to shop. It's okay not to buy. You know what I mean?
I do, but it still breaks my heart. But yeah, continue. Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think these are the 2 things that I have realized. The traveling part for sure. That I don't hate it.
You, Prakash?
God, on my end, it was a bit of a rediscovery period for me. There was a lot that went on, and I think you just spend a lot of time with yourself. Even though you're fortunate enough to be around family, you're always on the go. Especially the three of us, you're doing so many things at once. You don't get to sort of sit and reflect on everything. Is everything I'm doing making me happy? Is this the best friendship for me? Is this the best relationship for me? And you get to kind of examine everything and kind of look at your mental health and your sort of inner happiness. And it's been a great period of sort of rediscovery and kind of
what is the not so good one?
The not so good one is I mean you can look at it either way, but I just don't think I'm made to sit still. I think I have happiness in go all the time. I like seeing the destination in the distance and constantly going after it. And if I'm getting close to getting it, I gotta set another destination. So that journey, I think, is where I constantly have to be.
Something you had during this lockdown that you never want to do again? Play table tennis on your tennis court?
No, that's so much fun. Of course I want to do that. I didn't really do anything exciting. Prakash, it looks like Prakash's face, he did something he doesn't want to do again. What did you do? And I think I know what he's thinking, and he doesn't want to say it.
Say it, Sania. Say it. Say it.
No, that absolutely can't go on this show. I gotta think of a number two.
What movie describes us being in this situation? Like, what movie comes to your mind to think about?
Dude, that pandemic movie. What was that called? I watched it right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Contagion. How freaky was that, Sania?
It's exactly the same. But I saw it. I came back from America and I came back from LA on 22nd. I saw it on 24th, just as the lockdown, right? I was like, oh, okay, what is this? Like, they're locking down. And 4 months later, we're doing exactly that. Like, it's so scary.
It really is. Which
frightening.
room in your house have you spent most of your time in?
My bedroom.
Yeah, it's a close call, but you sleep. I guess if you take away sleep time, it's between the people.
Sleep time, dude.
Yes. Where are you sleeping?
No. If you count sleep time, then your bedroom, of course, is the place you spent the most time in. But if you take that away, then it's a close call between the living room, TV room, and the gym, probably.
Wow,
that's
a lot of rooms.
Otherwise, Sania, that's like 8-9 hours a day that you're just putting in one room. That's not fair.
So the first person that you would like to see who's not in LA or here in Hyderabad, who are you looking forward to seeing? Like, oh, I miss that friend.
Well, my husband. I haven't seen him in 5 months. I'd like to see him.
That's a valid one.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I've been lucky. I've been able to sort of on and off see some friends here. We're, sort of far apart, but at least a lot of my friends do live in LA. But I guess, I've been traveling on, tour, doing all the presenting stuff for so long. I miss everyone you see on a regular basis.
Yeah.
From Sania to literally you're seeing them every week. So you're having dinner with this person, having a coffee with this person. You almost take it for granted that you see them all the time. I mean, Sania can speak for it too. I'm sure at some points, you get sick of them. You're seeing everyone all day long. But, when you're stuck at home, you realize, you're like this traveling circus.
Beautiful. Both of you said some really nice things. And finally, we are in our final segment of our show. And the final segment is called the Hope Minute. So I'm going to give each of you a minute and to give us hope as to how we can give us hope the next minute to see how we can go forward in our lives. So Prakash, I'll go with you first.
On the spot.
Prakash,
Okay.
you're not looking very sure.
Okay, wait, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think there was a period in my life where I used to sink into, oh man, I wish this could have gone better, or I wasted this amount of time, or whatever. And you don't realize how much time you actually lose doing that. So a lesson from there, which I desperately am trying to use now, which I hope everyone else will too, is however bad things are, if you're able to sit with yourself and even pull one or two positives from it, something you've learned, something you wouldn't have normally done, someone you would have normally not spent time with, and you start listing all of those things, there's an actual way you can reframe a terrible, terrible incident in your life into something positive, into something you're actually grateful that it happened, because it sends you on a more positive journey. So I guess I just desperately hope that everyone can get anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4, however many percent positive
5
out of this whole experience, so you can take it into the future, generate that hope.
He needs more time.
It's a minute of hope.
You can give him my minute.
I got it in the 60 seconds.
Yeah. And you, Sania, 3, 2, 1, go.
I think the most important thing is to sort of be positive. I mean, it looks really tough. It looks really bleak. It looks like, like we said, we don't know when we're going to come out of it. There's so much of uncertainty around us. But the most important thing is that you're healthy, and it's very important to understand that you're with your family is healthy. I know of people that have died from the coronavirus, that I know of them. Like, it's come to that stage now. And it's important to realize that how lucky you are coming from India. I mean, Lakshmi, I don't know, Prakash, if you've seen the people
Numbers.
that were going and walking for 2 months. They were walking for days and trying to get to their homes. I mean, we're lucky that we have a house. We're lucky that we have food to eat. So I just think it's very important to be grateful and realize the things that we have, even the little things, and believe that we're going to come out on the better side of this.
That's fantastic. I think both of you, what you said was very true. Although I'm still finding what Prakash said, that every incident that happens in your life is a lesson and you see something positive. Thank you, both of you. It was a really inspiring show. It was a show that was very real. Thank you for being so candid. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything better. And that brings us to the end of our episode. And surely, but soon, we will come back to life.
Listen, I've hung out with you guys individually, but Lux, I have to thank you for bringing us all together for the first time, albeit on Zoom. I hope we all get a chance to do this in person soon.